Hey Royals, welcome back to All Things Yoni with your girl D. Today we're going to be discussing the don'ts to vaginal steaming and different steam positions you can use while steaming. As we get into it, I am going to be sipping on my Inner Queen womb tea. I am going through my maintenance phase. After my cycle, I would usually steam with a blend that's suited for me and sip on my womb tea to get my womb back into its healthy state after that trauma that it just went through. So I am sipping on my tea today as we get into the don'ts to vaginal steaming. The first one is going to be fresh spotting, spontaneous bleeding, or on your menstrual cycle. You do not want to steam during these times because the arteries are open, and if you steam during these times, you are going to prolong your bleeding. Fresh spotting being the pinkish, reddish spots you might see after the cycle or before the cycle. If it's brown, it's okay. If it's fresh and it's bright pink or red, that's a no-no. During the cycle, that's a definite no-no. And spontaneous bleeding would be if you would experience a cycle every 10-12 days. That's spontaneous bleeding. That means that your arteries are super weak. And if you steam during this time, or even if you're not experiencing a cycle and you so happen to steam and you recently experienced spontaneous bleeding, you are going to cause more damage than good. I would advise you to wait, heal, get the body right. Even if you do herbal baths, if you heal via tea, whatever you decide to do as your method of healing, do not steam when you are experiencing spontaneous bleeding. Give yourself at least 3 months without spontaneous bleeding and then go on to steaming. The other one is going to be post-insemination. You do not want to steam after you would have just had your procedure done. Steam is going to pull that right out. You should at least give it time before you can even think about steaming. Just give the body some time. Sometimes all the body needs is time to heal, All the body needs is time. So if you give it time, you will be surprised to see how your procedure works. If it is a case where a year gone and it didn't work, then you can probably go on to steaming. But after your procedure, give your body some time, right? A definite no is going to be when you're pregnant. Now that is obvious, like you would not want to womb detox while you are pregnant. That's a definite no. Don't forget, the womb is supposed to stay, the uterus is supposed to stay closed and intact to keep baby safe. If you steam opens. If you steam temporarily opens the cervix. If you steam, you may miscarriage. You may be fine, although some persons do it in the early stages of labor, but I would advise you to do professional help with that. Do not go doing that yourself. Make sure you have professional help. If you're pregnant, no steaming in the early days of pregnancy. No steaming. First trimester, no steaming. Second trimester, no steaming. Third trimester at the end, maybe with a midwife or a steam practitioner. Do not go doing that on your own. Although some persons prefer to go to the steam spa setting and have their steam done, that's some persons don't time. Some persons just love the environment. Some persons just enjoy that setting. Some persons prefer to do it in the comfort of their home. That's where I come in, where I can guide you and let you know the best materials that you should use, the best wraps and covers that you should use, the thickness of the wrap that's best for you to use, and the heats that you will be able to handle, all from a consultation. Anyhow, so when I first started my business, I would use a 6 bath with plastic. But after doing my steam course, and I came upon the knowledge about how unsafe the plastic was, because when heat is introduced to plastic, heat releases unwanted toxins, and you do not want to have those unwanted toxins within your steam session. So my instructor, she would always say, use glass, stainless steel, or enamel. And that is exactly what we use now. This is my personal steam pot. It has different heats, and I would prepare my water and everything in here. Sometimes I would just sit over it, and sometimes I would transfer it into my stainless steel bowl, and I would have my steam session over here. As we get into it, I'm going to show you guys how I sit on my steam chair and how I do the kneeling position. I usually kneel and I squat over my steam. So you would want to sit You want to make sure that your legs are opened and the steam, the hole is in a line with your hole. You want to sit over it and make sure that, you know, the steam is actually hitting and targeting your hole. You can hold over like this to get more steam effect from the steam. You can, if you suffer with hemorrhoids, you can sit back. It's still gonna hit both holes, or whatever comfortable to you, whatever makes you feel comfortable, whichever best suits you. For me, I sit like this, or I come over like this. That's for me. Another thing, now that I'm up here, before I go show you guys how I kneel, I'm gonna show you the different covers you can use. So you can use, if you are good with heat, you can handle heat, then you can use a really big quilt and you can cover up. You're gonna wanna cover everything. Make sure that everything is covered. You don't wanna have the steam escaping. So you're gonna cover everything. Make sure it stays in. And you're gonna sit like this or like this, however you decide to sit. You can use this. You can use a sheet. If you can't handle too much heat, or if you don't like too much heat, you can use a sheet. As I said, cover over the same way. Make sure everything is covered. You cover over, or you can use a gown. This is my personal gown, and I would just step into this gold girl here. Put my arms through. Sorry, you guys can't see that part. Right. Put my arms through. Make sure again that is covering the entire seat. Pull it all the way up, and I steam. You can steam. You can open your feet as I mentioned. Hold over. Sit back. Whichever you decide to do. As I said, I hold over because that feels better and it's more comfortable to me. And this is how my session looks. My steam setup looks when I'm kneeling. I would have 2 pillars underneath to support my knees, and 1 up front to support my elbows in case I decide to give my knees a little break. All right, we're gonna play pretend. I'm just gonna come over and show you guys. So this is basically how I kneel over my steam. Let me just come up somewhere. Yeah, right here. I would have a towel around the rim of the bowl, the steam pot, in case it touched my neck, because I have very thick legs. So I have a towel around there to prevent it from giving me that sting between my legs or that burn between my legs. And I would just put on my gown. Sometimes I wear it from my waist down because I cannot handle a quilt or anything thick. I radiate heat and I am prone to yeast infections. So I would not advise anyone who's prone or radiates heat to wear anything thick or to wear it from the neck down. If you're going to wear something very thin, you can wear it from the waist. If you wish to have it all the way up, as long as it's thin, it's okay. Right? So I just sit over here. When I get tired in this position, I would come down over here. It still hits, it still targets, I still feel it. When I'm tired there, I come back up. That's basically how I would do my kneel sitting. I do this method more than I would sit over the chair because it's a lot. For me, it targets better and it targets more when I do my kneeling method. But at the end of the day, it boils down to preference, is what you are comfortable with and what you prefer to do. Right? So that's it, Royals. I would see you next Sunday. I may do it the following Sunday. I'm thinking to combine my topics and have longer videos so that it could be more, informative. So I'm gonna do every other week. and I will see you guys on Sunday. I hope you have a wonderful week. You know, Sunday is the first day of the week, so you want to do a lot of planning. I'm going to go do some content to post on my Instagram page. Yes, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe and like to my YouTube channel. So I'm going to leave all my handles below. You can catch up with me and get into all things Johnny with your girl D.